Scenic Woods. Look at that BMW, y'all. It's underwater. This is our driveway.
Weather and flooding like that, you easily notice a little bit of a slope. Some of the grass and the driveways just a little bit higher in elevation than the street itself, and that makes all the difference, especially for that vehicle right there in the water. And you can see it. Now you can kind of see how the driveways go up just a little bit, just enough for the cars that are in the driveway here in Houston earlier today to remain dry, unless parked on the street here. More flooding does remain possible. This is a live look at Houston, where it is 78 degrees. Traffic barely chugging along here this evening, and at least for now, no rain, and the north side of the city really getting some of the worst of the weather earlier today. Here's a look at University of Houston. Also, cloudy skies remain, and it's warm. More storms are possible this evening and then again tomorrow. So here virtually in Houston, a look at what it was like earlier today with some of the heavy rain falling and what is expected again here in the coming days. So let's take a look now at how everything is going to play out and what we can expect after what happened today. Again, many areas in the north side of the city, 1 inch to 2 inches, even around 3 inches of rain being estimated here on radar, with the potential for more flooding. That remains through at least tomorrow. Galveston over to Beaumont, right along the Louisiana border, and including a lot of I-10. Here's that bit of a break here in Houston with some thunderstorms just across the Texas border in Louisiana, south of Lake Charles. It looks like even just maybe a little bit of a spin in there as well. The atmosphere is fluid atmosphere, so you can kind of get that every once in a while as well. And still in at least the threat zone for the possibility of some flash flooding tomorrow, and then again going into Thursday as well for more of Texas, more of the Houston area, and in Galveston once again. So Houston, of course, and Texas, especially closer to the Gulf Coast, certainly can expect rain any time of the year, but you see a little bit of a bump here for Houston, getting 5 to even on average 6 inches from May, that 5+ to 6 inches in June. So certainly do expect it, but again, inches of rain, Jackie, we know possible any month of the year in Houston.
Yes, indeed. So you know the old saying, right? When it rains, it pours, but in Houston, when it pours, it seems to flood pretty easily. So check out what it looked like in Houston earlier this year as strong storms dropped a ton of rain on Houston. The rising water flooded several homes and businesses on this date in January, and it left some drivers stranded and many cars totaled. Now, in May of 2021, it was a similar story. Taking a look at flooding along the White Oak Bayou, the water even swept a car away. And of course, Houston saw devastating flooding in the aftermath of Hurricane Harvey in August of 2017. As the storm moved inland, it slowed to a crawl, dumping days of rain on the area. It left more than a quarter of Harris County underwater. So let's talk about Houston and why it's so vulnerable and what seems to be a prime target for getting some of that flooding. First of all, I want to show you the rainfall forecast through the rest of the week, and this may be very conservative. In fact, I think those numbers could certainly get closer. I think that's a good widespread range, but some of us could get 6, maybe even 12 inches of rainfall. But when we take a look at Houston, we can really see how flat it is. We know it's really close to the Gulf of Mexico, so easy access. We've got abundant moisture due to the proximity of the Gulf of Mexico. Our dew points can rise very high into the 60s and 70s. And the dew point, of course, is a measure of the amount of moisture available into the atmosphere. Houston, a huge city, right? In the top 5, I think, in population in the country. So there's a lot of urbanization, a lot of concrete, a lot of pavement, buildings all around. And so that limits the ability or even availability of any soil to be able to absorb some of that moisture. Flat wetlands, paved landscapes drain slowly. They also tend to very easily flood as a result, and heavier rainfall rates that you'll often get in these types of environments can overwhelm the system. All of the water then works its way into the Buffalo Bayou, which then exits down into Galveston Bay, and we get a lot of flooding sometimes on the Buffalo Bayou then too.
I did it my way. I face it all. Lost it all. My Way, the new refillable parfum, Giorgio Armani.
These days, we're all together all the time. Working, playing, cleaning. Turns out family life can be, well, gross. But Care.com can help with lots of great housekeepers to put your messy place back together again when it's right for you. It costs less than you think. And a clean house feels so good. Get the housekeeping help you need. Care.com.
If RPMs raise your BPMs, if the open road is an open invitation, then get up and go. Go turn some heads. Go turn a wrench. Go windows down. Go volume up. Go in. Go out. Go off. Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to keep you firing on all cylinders.
Is your credit score getting in the way of things you want to do? Personal loans through NetCredit help you borrow up to $10,000. So check your eligibility on netcredit.com today without affecting your credit score. You may even be able to build your credit history as you repay. NetCredit, a more personal loan.
Chloe, je suis amoureux de toi.
Quoi? Need help learning and speaking a new language? Try Babbel, the language learning app designed to help you have conversations in any situation.
À votre santé.
Babbel uses the spaced repetition method to help you learn quickly and remember what you learn.
Chloé, je suis heureux pour toi. À votre santé.
Babbel, real language lessons for real-world conversations. Go to Babbel.com now to start speaking in as little as 3 weeks.
Introducing Astapro Allergy, steroid-free allergy relief that starts working in 30 minutes, while other allergy sprays take hours. Now with Astapro Fast Allergy Relief, you can Astapro and go.
I'm Fernando, live outside of Boston. I've been with Consumer Cellular for 5 years. Consumer Cellular gives you all the same features that these big companies give you. What you get for the cost is remarkable. Why would you pay more money?
Why would you pay more when you can get unlimited talk and text with a flexible data plan starting at just $20 a month?
I think they should raise their prices.
Sorry, Fernando. Our prices are staying low. So switch today and save. Call or go online.
The day you get your Clear Choice dental implants changes your struggle with missing teeth forever. It changes how you eat, how you feel, and how you enjoy life. It changes your smile and how others smile at you. Clear Choice Network doctors have changed over 100,000 lives with dental implants, and they can change yours too. Because a Clear Choice day changes every day. Schedule a free consultation.
Red Lobster's finer points of fun dining. How to endless shrimp. Step 1, greet your shrimp. Step 2, bid your shrimp farewell. Repeat. Ultimate Endless Shrimp is back. A cool 20 gets you shrimp aplenty. Welcome to fun dining.
It's so nice you guys could stop by.
Your floors are amazing. We really need new floors, but the kids and the dog.
These are waterproof and scratch resistant from LL Flooring.
But Gary's so tight with the budget.
It's actually a lot less than we thought.
This is nice.
It's time to love your floors. Lumber Liquidators is now LL Flooring. Our experts make it simple to find the right floor at the best price, guaranteed. LL Flooring.
Welcome back to Storm Center, everybody. You are taking a look at conditions in Stafford County, Kansas. Our storm tracker Charles Peak is providing this live view for us right now. A severe thunderstorm warning is in effect right now for parts of Stafford. Tennis ball size hail is possible with this storm. It looks very dark and very ominous, and looks like we have perhaps the leading edge there of a shelf cloud. Hopefully those guys are getting that wheeled back into a shed there and getting to a safe place. Of course, not a sturdy enough building there, but I like that house on the left. That brick house looks like a better shelter to me. Meteorologist Chris Warren is on the radar right now. And Chris, I know you're taking a look at this cell. We've got huge hail in Kansas right now, and some of those wind gusts have been clocked over 80 miles an hour.
Yeah, some potent storms right now for sure. Charles is out on a lone storm here that we were just seeing, had that live look and this live look right now. And here it is. You can see where Charles's location is right there. And his vantage point is looking right back at the storm. Meanwhile, damaging winds possible with this here, now getting extended, the severe thunderstorm warning all the way down to include Interstate 35 south of Wichita. But here's the one that Charles is currently watching, and some large hail, certainly a possibility out of this. Seeing what appears to be a little bit of rotation as well. You're kind of getting that look where you kind of just stare at it and you kind of make out where it looks like it's got a little bit of a twist there, maybe a little bit of an inflow notch, and there you go. So these supercell thunderstorms tend to rotate. They don't all produce tornadoes, but it's the rotating ones that eventually would produce a tornado, typically speaking. So seeing some rotation in there for sure, somewhat a broad rotation at the moment. This storm is heading toward St. John again. Charles Peak is on this storm as we track it out. You can see some of the estimated times. Matter of about next 10 to 12 minutes there for St. John, and then continuing off eventually to impact East Cooper and Zenith. But it's going to be a while here, more like a half an hour for some of those areas. Large hail being estimated by the radar here with the estimates taking this. If this 2-inch hail were to make it all the way down to the ground, you're looking at larger than golf ball size hail. So a big storm there, big storm here. Severe thunderstorm warnings currently associated with that. This is the brand new severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect. See the outflow coming out of that and the storms following close behind. That one is in effect until 5:45. And how about this? This is a really cool sight here. So this is the warm and humid air, the movement of these smaller fair weather clouds, fair for now, but not for long, as these big storms, and you can see some of the bubbling up nature of these storms right here, creating a cool outflow, that cold air rushing out of the storms, put that into motion once again, and that is a look at that cold air that comes out, lifts some of that warm air coming up, and you can get new storms. And Jackie, eventually the weather is creating more weather.
Yeah, you know I love a good upflow boundary,
So cool.
whether it's on Doppler radar or invisible satellite. It's really cool to pick that out and kind of help understand how the atmosphere is working. It's neat stuff. All right, we are also tracking storms for a large swath of the central U.S. over the next 24 to 48 hours. We're going to see strong gusty winds like the video that you see there out of Goodland, Kansas. We also have the threat of tornadoes. It looks like we're potentially going to see the threat of more of that, including in the Denver area. In fact, Denver, you have had, what, a couple of tornadoes. We've had them in just the last 2 weeks right here on Storm Center. So let's talk about the risk area that we have going forward tonight and into tomorrow. Of course, we're watching that MCS, or that complex of thunderstorms that Chris was just talking about with those damaging winds. That's going to continue to dive down towards the south and to the east. It will bring with it the threat of severe thunderstorms as it moves into southwestern Missouri. But then overnight tonight, gradually, this is going to start to peter out. And then we'll be watching the next MCS, or complex of thunderstorms that could produce damaging winds as this lifts northward through the state of Nebraska, heading towards South Dakota by early tomorrow morning. As for tomorrow afternoon and evening, it's the high plains here into Colorado, into Wyoming, western parts of South Dakota, the Nebraska panhandle, stretching down into the panhandles of Texas and Oklahoma as well. So we've got our big dip, or a big upper level trough into the west that is going to be steering eastward eastward. We'll have those strong winds aloft associated with those. The winds will be spreading apart aloft, which helps provide lift into the atmosphere and help to support any thunderstorms that get going to help maintain that. Torcons of a 2 and a 3 here into eastern Colorado for tomorrow.
Why did we choose Safelite? We were loading our SUV when crack. Safelite came right to us, and we could see exactly when they'd arrive. With the replacement we could trust. That's service the way we want it.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
Is your credit score getting in the way of things you want to do? Personal loans through NetCredit help you borrow up to $10,000. So check your eligibility on netcredit.com today without affecting your credit score. You may even be able to build your credit history as you repay. NetCredit, a more personal loan.
Our roof got damaged during Hurricane Ida last August. When I went to start researching different roofers in my area, I was overwhelmed. The wait was incredibly long. The bids were outrageous. Then we got on Angie. Next thing we knew, we were put in contact with our Angie Pro. It was just insane how quickly things went. And then that weekend, they came out. They were there for a day and a half, and we had a brand new roof.
Got a home project? Get started at Angie.com today.
Hi, Grandma. I played baseball today.
Oh, that's great.
What position did you play?
First base.
That's what Grandpa used to play. When our hearing wouldn't allow us to use a regular phone, it made us feel isolated.
It became difficult to communicate with our friends and family.
Clear Captions was an easy solution for us.
Clear Captions provides captions on a phone like captioning on your TV, so you can see what the caller is saying live as they say it.
Making it easy to understand and respond immediately.
There is no insurance or Medicare required. Clear Captions service is provided at no cost to you through a federally funded program. We deliver, install, and train you on how to use your phone, all at no cost to you.
Give your loved ones the independence and connection they deserve.
Call now to see if you qualify to get a Clear Captions phone at no cost to you. Call 1-800-545-0868. That's 1-800-545-0868.
I sold my car to Carvana and it was awesome. I heard about Carvana through friends, so I thought I'd give it a try. It was easy. I input information about the car, including the mileage, the VIN number, answered a few questions, and got a real offer in seconds. It felt too good to be true. It was a lot higher than I expected. A Carvana advocate came to my house. As soon as they accepted my car, they paid me on the spot. I couldn't believe it. I recommend it to anyone. Try it for yourself. Go to Carvana.com and get an offer for your car. At Carvana.
You know what's missing from the entire fitness industry? A program for beginners only. Not anymore. Whoop, whoop. I'm Body Super Trainer Lacey Green, and I'm inviting you to a 3-week program only on Body, the world's first health esteem platform. Welcome to For Beginners Only. I'll ease you into exercise with low-impact cardio, strength, core, and mobility workouts. And now you can try For Beginners Only with your free trial of Body. Get started at Body.com today.
Without the ones like you working tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. No matter your industry, Grainger's here for you with professional-grade supplies. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Boar's Head has harnessed the power of fire to unlock an intense new flavor. An expertly charred, flame-grilled masterpiece to take your senses to new heights. Because when Boar's Head lights a fire, we ignite an experience worth savoring. New Boar's Head Firesmith Flame-Grilled Chicken Breast. Flavor forged in flame. Available only at the deli and only from Boar's Head. Compromise elsewhere.
Zillow Home Loans turns finders into keepers. With a fast, transparent process and no hidden fees. There's no place like Zillow Home Loans.
This is Storm Center, and this is a live look here. Stafford County, Kansas. Storm tracker Charles Peak on this storm. Looks like it's getting a little bit of that green glow a little bit off to the left. This storm likely has some large hail, some damaging winds, some very heavy rain. Charles has been out on this storm for quite some time now. As we look overhead at some of the fragmented clouds, very prolific rainmaker. and potentially some large damaging hail out of this as well, and some strong, possibly damaging winds as well with this storm. Along with meteorologist Jackie Jarris, I'm meteorologist Chris Warren. I'm on the radar this evening, and we do see that storm that Charles was just bringing us. This one right here is this, and it's not really clipping along here, so you're getting a lot of rain out of this, and again, possibly some large damaging hail. See a little bit of spin here on the northern end of that line. Damaging winds out ahead of this with this storm. Considerable threat. Also could see some large hail here. This is all within an area where conditions are favorable for strong storms.
It's been a tough year and a half for several Kentucky communities rebuilding after natural disasters. You're looking at this video showing a bird's eye view of hard-hit Mayfield after a tornado struck the town in December of 2021. It was part of a powerful storm system that spun up a few long-track tornadoes, including an EF4 that struck right here. As you can see, the damage was extensive, leaving this area devastated. As of May 1st, help is here to assist people in communities like Mayfield get back on their feet. Federal funding of $123 million is now being released to provide housing for storm victims who are still displaced. So joining us to talk about this aid and how it will be used is Mayfield Mayor Kathy Onan. Mayor, thanks so much for being with us today on Storm Center. It's been a while now, more than 80 lives lost in Kentucky that day, hundreds of homes that have been destroyed. What's it like in Mayfield now after that devastating tornado?
We are moving forward with, we have been so blessed by nonprofits who have been here since day one, it seems. And now so many of them, local and national, have been rebuilding homes already for us. And we know that with this announcement of this $123 million, the application process opened as of May 1st. We knew about this appropriation last year, but I know that Senator McConnell pushed that through to help his home state. And we are so thankful now with the governor's announcement just recently of a May 1st application date.
How huge is this for your community, and how will it help the residents?
It is huge. We have been the beneficiary of a lot of huge gifts and help since that December tornado that took so much from the people of our community. You know, with an exception of the lives we lost here, the 24 lives we lost, which of course can never be replaced, we know that everything else, as painful it is though, with time can be replaced. And that's exactly what this large amount, this appropriation will mean for us, just even more rebuilding.
So where are people now? Where are they living? Have they moved? Are they living in trailers? Is there housing for them?
Some of them are still living in state furnished RVs. Some of them are living with their family members. Like I said, we have the nonprofits, and I can't begin to name them because there are so many of them here, and I would regret to leave one of them out. But I think that we have within our community, I feel comfortable in saying probably 50 homes that have already been presented to new owners at this time, and then to replace the homes that the previous owners lost. So they are scattered. I'm happy to say, though, that this year we judged things by our school enrollment. And in this past year, when school started last fall, our high school, Mayfield High School enrollment was up. And in the kindergarten, they had to add an extra teacher. That says a lot for our community that we didn't lose anybody yet, and we've gained more people. And that is a thrilling sentence for me to be able to say.
That is great news. What about businesses? What about that candle factory?
You know, the candle factory has relocated out to our industrial park, and so they are still here. Their previous location is still vacant, but the jobs, most of the jobs that were there had moved out to the industrial park of our community.
We only have about 30 seconds left. What's the big lesson you've learned here?
The big what I want to hear?
Did you learn a lesson? What's the big takeaway, or what would you do differently?
I don't know if what I would do differently, and not so much of a lesson, but as I say all the time, what I'm so proud of everything, how our community has reacted, and our people are still, even 15 months in, are the most resilient people I have ever known. And I'm so very proud of the people of Mayfield, Kentucky.
Well, we are excited for you and happy about your recovery and about this funding that's going to help so many more people. That's Mayfield, Kentucky Mayor Kathy Onan. Thank you for taking the time and being with us today here on Storm Center.
Introducing Astapro Allergy. Now available without a prescription, Astapro is the first and only 24-hour steroid-free spray. While Flonase takes hours, Astapro starts working in 30 minutes. So you can Astapro and go.
Is your credit score getting in the way of the things you want to do? Personal loans through NetCredit offer fast and flexible lending. Borrow up to $10,000 and choose repayment terms that work for you. You may even be able to build your credit history as you repay. NetCredit, a more personal loan.
Meet Barkley. He's part pit bull, part Labrador, and part masterpiece. Meet the new Bissell Revolution Hydro Steam. It's part deep cleaner, part pre-treater, part stubborn stain remover, and part peacemaker. Every purchase saves pets, like Barkley. Bissell, a new breed of clean.
Your record label is taking off, but so is your sound engineer. You need to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Indeed Instant Match instantly delivers quality candidates matching your job description. Visit Indeed.com/hire.
Some people are born to hustle. They just know their way around a good deal. That's why we hired them all. At Marshalls, our buyers hustle every day for the brands you love. They can tell the quality to cost ratio simply by touch and know what makes bone china different from porcelain. Impressive. But most importantly, they know that that bag is amazing, so we'll take them all for the right price. We get the deals, you get the good stuff. Marshalls.
Say goodbye to daily insulin injections with Omnipod 5, a tubeless system that automatically adjusts insulin to help protect against highs and lows. Try it today. Go to Omnipod.com for risk information and instructions for use. Consult your healthcare provider before starting on Omnipod.
If RPMs raise your BPMs, if the open road is an open invitation, then get up and go. Go turn some heads. Go turn a wrench. Go windows down, go volume up. Go in, go out, go off. Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to keep you firing on all cylinders.
If you're watching this Gerber Life Guaranteed Life Insurance commercial, there's a good chance that you're alive. And if you're not, well, this may not be of interest to you. Now, I know what you're thinking. Life insurance? I'm going to live forever. Death is what happens to other people. Well, for the sake of argument, let's assume you're wrong and that someday you won't be watching TV anymore. I know it's not easy to talk about, so I'll do the talking. If you're 50 plus and alive, you can apply for Gerber Life Guaranteed Life Insurance with guaranteed acceptance, regardless of your health. And since this life insurance is guaranteed, you don't have to get a medical exam. In fact, you don't even have to fill out a health questionnaire. For a free quote, just call 800-454-9976. Then when you stop, if you stop watching TV, your family can use the insurance money to help cover your final expenses or anything else. For a free quote, call today, 800-454-9976. Your kids already inherited your ears, allergies, and questionable singing voice. Don't make them inherit your final expense tab too.
It's unbelievable!
Hundreds of millions of lives impacted.
Look at the wind howling through here.
Thousands of storms forecasted. 40 years of storytelling. And a former National Hurricane Center director. One trusted best-in-class expert team. America's most trusted news network. The Weather Channel.
Welcome to Storm Center, everybody. As the countdown to the Atlantic hurricane season 2023 is on. We've got 23 days from today to the official start of the Atlantic hurricane season. Of course, Mother Nature doesn't always play by the rules, but the good news is for now, no development is expected over the next 5 days. You can see our big cluster of thunderstorms with tropical-like downpours that have been bringing some flooding conditions across southeastern Texas, including you into the Houston area. But when we look at history and we go back between 2015 and 2021, we've actually had quite a few named storms that have occurred in the month of April even, and in the month of May. And a lot of those actually happen in late May. So it's never too soon to get prepared and be ready. It's going to be starting up before we know it. In the meantime, I want to get the latest on what we can expect for tomorrow's trouble spots tonight with Chris.
And Jackie, you can imagine this time of year it's severe weather, so it's the daily thunderstorms that can pose a problem. And guess what? It's going to be our trouble that we're going to deal with again tomorrow. This is the threat area. It includes Texas, Oklahoma, New Mexico, Colorado, all the way up to the Canadian border and including parts of northern Minnesota. Here's how things are setting up. The ingredients: upper level jet, so the strong winds higher up in the atmosphere, moves to the east. You're going to have some strong winds up there that can be filtered down. That's going to help increase the possibility. There's going to be some strong damaging storms, some damaging winds. And the storms are really going to be feeding into this heat and all of this moisture, tapping into basically the fuel for these storms to first create the clouds, bring the rain, bring the hail, and possibly even the damaging winds. Large hail is possible. Torcon of 2 and a 3. Not the biggest in numbers, but still numbers. Still on the Torcon, so there still is a threat. And a Torcon of a 3, which is what we have for some areas. We are expecting thunderstorms. That is likely. Those thunderstorms could be severe. So severe thunderstorms in a Torcon of a 3 situation, expecting severe thunderstorms somewhere within that area. Could see some tornado warnings, could have a few tornadoes possible for tomorrow where there is a 3, and it could be some watches as well. This is the high resolution future radar. Put this through time. Really starts to pop while we're with you here on Storm Center. This continues into the after dark, early overnight hours for a lot of the high plains, and then eventually back and again into parts of the central plains. Could have a couple rounds of showers, if not a couple chances for thunderstorms tomorrow evening, and then again into Thursday morning as well. And so it begins, and here we go.
Here we go. Yeah, an active week, a kind of summery type feel to it to a lot of us across the midsection of the country as well as into the southeast. But that's not going to stick around forever. We'll just have to get through this week before another big change. So our jet stream pattern, one of the good things we can track to really help us encounter and predict some of these changes. So we'll stay cooler into the west and warm under this ridge here into the central section of the U.S. and the east. That gets amplified a little bit more, but our ridge actually ultimately ends up back building as we head into next week, and we'll really watch the temperatures soar into the west. So our storm track will then go up and over the northwestern part of the U.S., and that will lead to hot and dry conditions. This is your forecast on Sunday, Seattle, 86 degrees. Look at Sacramento, 94. Notice we stay warm into the south, but cooler again into the Great Lakes and into the Midwest where we have the dip. So temperatures will be low average there, 10 to 20 degrees, and above average 15 to 25 into the west. So this type of a pattern in the setup is not very favorable for severe thunderstorms. That said, it will be favorable for some wet weather yet again. So maybe we'll get a little break in some of the worst of the severe weather, but the heat will then turn and become one of the big issues as we head into next week. So when we look at our temperature outlook, then very likely below average in the blue and very likely above average in the Pacific Northwest. and also the extreme southeast, especially into states like Florida. If you see gray, by the way, where you live, that just means about average or not likely to be a lot above or a lot below. And as for the precip, unfortunately, more wet weather in areas that may not need it so much, especially after this week, and that includes the Gulf Coast states. But look at the big increase here into parts of the west, southwest in particular. We'll take that, I think, this time of the year. You're watching Storm Center.
With Flonase, allergies don't have to be scary. Spraying Flonase daily gives you long-lasting, non-drowsy relief. Flonase, all good.
Sometimes the lows of bipolar depression feel darkest before dawn. With Caplyta, there's a chance to let the light shine through and light tomorrow with the hope from today. This is a chance to let in the light. Caplyta is a once-daily pill that is proven to deliver significant relief across bipolar depression. Unlike some medicines that only treat bipolar 1, Caplyta treats both bipolar 1 and bipolar 2 depression. And in clinical trials, movement disorders and weight gain were not common.
Call your doctor about sudden mood changes, behaviors, or suicidal thoughts. Antidepressants may increase these risks in young adults. Elderly dementia patients have increased risk of death or stroke. Report fever, confusion, stiff, or uncontrollable muscle movements which may be life-threatening or permanent. These aren't all the serious side effects.
In the darkness of bipolar 1 and 2 depression, Caplyta can help you let in the light. Ask your doctor about Caplyta today. Find savings and support at Caplyta.com.
King's Hawaiian sliders are ready.
Great. I invited a few more friends.
Hey, Pops, what's cooking?
And I am Linda.
My turn!
Who wants more sliders? Thanks, Mom.
Nothing brings the galaxy together like King's Hawaiian. See Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, only in theaters.
Red Lobster's finer points of fun dining. How to endless shrimp. Step 1, greet your shrimp. Step 2, bid your shrimp farewell. Repeat. Ultimate Endless Shrimp is back. A cool 20 gets you shrimp aplenty. Welcome to fun dining.
I brought in Ensure Max Protein with 30 grams of protein.
Those who tried me felt more energy in just 2 weeks. Here, I'll take that.
Ensure Max Protein with 30 grams of protein, 1 gram of sugar, and nutrients for immune health.
At Doan's, we know one thing and one thing only. Backs. Strained backs from weekend chores to pulled backs, doing your favorite hobbies. We even know quarterbacks. Doan's, the experts in back pain relief for more than 100 years. Available at a store near you.
These suits are here to make sure that anything that I say is legally indisputable. Like, we got more spaces than space.
That's entirely incalculable.
Oh, I think that's legalese for true. Apartments.com, the place to find a place.
Hey guys, Jefferson White here. I am so excited to show you this incredible Ozark property that my friends at One Country are giving away. One very, very lucky winner is going to get over 60 acres that includes this beautiful cabin and over half a mile of White River frontage. What could be better than that? You can enter to win right now at onecountry.com.
Every time you step up to the grill, you gotta deliver. And flavor's the last thing you have to worry about. Because no one flavors like we flavor. Grill Mates, flame and flavor.
Heavy rain hits Houston. Several surrounding counties under flood watches while the water is receding in some areas around Houston. More water may rise throughout the rest of this week. We spoke with a storm tracker about the flooding earlier today.
Houston is made to handle 2 inches of rain, but when it all comes down over 3 inches and within an hour, then you have a situation, especially on the feeders, as all the water just coming down into these areas and causing just a lot of havoc with traffic and of course, multiple cars stalled in those areas.
This is Storm Center. I'm meteorologist Chris Warren. The floodwaters in the Houston area could get much worse as storms will stick around throughout the week. So the city at times can expect more rising water with some of these storms.
I'm meteorologist Jackie Jarris. We're also timing out tonight's threat for dangerous and severe storms into the plains. Who's at risk for heavy rain, gusty winds, and even large hail?
And a lot of different areas of the country could see some more strong storms, of course, in Kansas and Missouri. Also, some of the Gulf of Mexico states, parts of the Southeast, and into the Carolinas, Virginia, could see some big storms.
It's been a rainy and stormy day in parts of Kansas and Nebraska. There's nickel-sized hail included in these storms that you're looking at here. The severe weather threat is going to stick around until tomorrow morning at least. And take a look at this, a hailstone from Greenville, South Carolina. My goodness, she threw it like it's a ball. Wow, those are some really big hailstones, especially for that part of the country. Want to get the latest on where that threat is right now as storms continue to fire up. Meteorologist Chris Warren is on the radar. Hey, Chris.
Yeah, hello to you, Jackie. And right now, let's take a live look here at some dark skies. This Stafford County here, Kansas. This is where Storm Tracker Charles Peak is located right now. He's been tracking these storms, watching some of the bigger storms moving through. He's been watching this one from a distance, and now it is upon him. A very large storm that does have a severe thunderstorm warning associated with it. Some very heavy rain. There's some lightning as well. Don't know if we're hearing some hail or just the heavy rain pattering and pittering onto his vehicle there. This storm right here is that right here. And Charles, he's in it right now. He's in some of the heavier rain. Some of the heavier rain now moving from Kansas into Missouri. A little bit of a spin there on the northern side of that, but some strong winds potentially coming in. Out ahead of that line is this. Some more storms there, possibly with some large hail. Considerable threat with these storms, and being on 49, Interstate 49 south of Harrisonville, not going to be a good time real soon here. A dangerous situation also on Highway 69. Some of that very heavy, blinding rain. If you're moving at all, the rain coming down that we're seeing here is going to be intense. Also, heavy rain. We know what that's like right now. It's like this here with Storm Tracker Charles Peak. I don't know exactly where in this he is, if he's in the red of the red right now or in the, well, he's in the red. There he is right there along Highway 281 right now. So if you want to know what red on the radar looks like, it looks like this right here where Charles is located. We have been seeing some broad rotation with these storms, which can happen with these supercell thunderstorms, especially higher up. You get the mesocyclone, the spinning of these large storms here that are supercell thunderstorms. So getting out of the warning area now, these storms are moving through, watch area. There are some warnings, but the watch area being shaved, keeping it current here. This in effect until 11 o'clock, going right up to and into Missouri. Also here until 10 o'clock, conditions remain favorable for the development of some severe thunderstorms for still parts of Virginia and a lot of eastern and some of central North Carolina. All of the warnings right now are in North Carolina and in some areas that have already had some severe thunderstorm warnings. So here it goes again. More storms moving through Rocky Mount. You're seeing that next storm getting through where you are right now. That's the second one we've seen here. You see there's one and then there's two, one right after another. We'll see if this continues to move in this direction. Seeing a supercell thunderstorm look to this, even a little bit of an appendage right there, a little bit of a kink on the radar. Similar situation too. You get that kind of look as well with some of these storms. High resolution future radar, put it in motion. You can see through the next several hours still watching thunderstorms developing and then moving on. Thunderstorms still have the potential for producing some very heavy rain across Texas, Louisiana, even into Mississippi, south of Jackson. Right now, there are some storms heading into Vicksburg as well, slowly creeping up from the south and heading to the north. And it has been one of those days, Jackie, where there have been thunderstorms across several states, sort of feeling and even looking like summer.
Yes, very much so. Not fun for travel. You get those heavy downpours, poor visibility. But in addition to tracking all of that, take a look at this. This was in the Central Plains today in Hays, Kansas. Blowing dust, making poor visibility on Interstate 70. Wind gusts blowing all that light, loose dust across the interstate, making it hard to see, making for travel being very dangerous. Now, parts of Kansas need the rain. Other parts of Kansas don't need it as much. It's really the western half where conditions are most dire when it comes to the drought and the need for more rain. As we take a look across the state right now, it's really the eastern half again getting in on that active weather. And as we track that bow echo, or that kind of curved shape here of this complex of thunderstorms, look what's happening out ahead of it. We've had a lot of energy available out ahead of it, but these thunderstorms down here have provided some nice cool air that have flown out of them and has stabilized the atmosphere. That may be temporary, but fingers crossed and hope that we can see some weakening with that area of thunderstorms. Notice the likelihood of severe weather to continue is highest in that area and into southwestern parts of Missouri for the rest of the evening. So damaging winds going to be possible. Large hail will be possible, most likely between Salina and into the Wichita area. Hail could be 2 inches or greater in diameter. We've had some of those reports. And when it comes to the damaging wind risk, that could be up over 75 miles per hour. That complex of thunderstorms has a history of producing winds as much as 80 miles per hour. That can cause a lot of damage, sometimes as much or more even than tornadoes. So take the warning seriously here tonight. Let's see what our latest computer models are doing. They do weaken that complex somewhat, but they don't get rid of it altogether. So heavy downpours, damaging winds will be ongoing and possible through the overnight into early tomorrow morning when it finally fizzles out. But look what takes over. Another disturbance moving through into the high plains, into the panhandle of Nebraska. This pushes up towards South Dakota by early tomorrow morning. A lot of moisture with both of those complexes. So heavy downpours could lead to some localized flash flooding from Nebraska through Kansas, stretching down even in northern parts of Arkansas. Chris.
And Jackie, right now I am standing virtually at the Red Rocks Amphitheater outside of Denver, where it has been a pretty cloudy day here. By tomorrow, though, rain expected to pick up. Could come in the form of thunderstorms as well. Severe threat is going to be with a lot of the central United States, and that threat includes all of it. Large hail, damaging winds, and possibly tornadoes for some of these areas here. Anywhere in red, it's possible the storms that are expected, it's possible some of those could end up being severe. Not saying you're guaranteed if you live anywhere in this red to get a storm, but your chance is greater here than it is outside of the red shaded area here, going all the way up to the Canadian border. Here's a look at some of the ingredients that are coming together. The strong winds higher up in the atmosphere where the jet stream is. That's going to help keep these storms going. It's going to help provide a wind-sheared environment, tapping into some unstable, warm, and moisture-laden air mass that will be providing the fuel for these strong storms. Could see damaging winds, possibly large hail with the colder air higher up, and again, the tornado threat. A 2 and a 3 on the exclusive Torcon here at the Weather Channel, meaning there is a threat. Not the greatest threat of all time, but it's still a threat. Anytime there's a number on the Torcon, there's still the possibility there could be some of the stronger storms. Now, in Colorado, if you're going to see some tornadoes, the greatest chance for that to happen is this time of year. It's May and it is June. On average, getting more than a dozen in each of those months. Still possible last month and for the summer months as well. But now it's really the time when you got the strong jet stream going over these lows. Storm track hasn't gone too far to the north yet. It's kind of the sweet spot there in the middle of the country for Colorado. Sweet if you like it, of course, and maybe not so sweet, a little bit more sour with some of these thunderstorms. If you have outdoor concert tickets or just want to be outside enjoying maybe the Rockies or whatever your story is here, thunderstorms certainly could put a damper on things, and of course also potentially make things dangerous as well. It's always important to have a way to get those warnings, and it's possible some of those warnings may include, Jackie, some flash flood warnings.
Yeah, preferably having 2 different ways to get that alert and information. Now, the threat for more dangerous storms is increasing as we head into tomorrow. A look at some of the cities that we're putting on notice. That includes you in Denver, Cheyenne, North Platte, Rapid City. All 4 places does have the threat of all types of hazardous weather. All those places right now, however, look pretty good, don't they? So enjoy this evening as conditions will be deteriorating in the next day or so. So let's time out the chance for those thunderstorms that are starting out on the I-80 corridor here into Wyoming, Cheyenne, over towards the Laramie area. This is 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. And notice maybe a spotty shower early on, but most of the bulk of the rain is going to be coming in the evening. So think about dinner time, maybe around 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7, 8, when hefty thunderstorms could be rolling through, could be producing some severe weather, but also very heavy downpours. So a lot of moisture is going to be available. Another disturbance rolls through here, so more active weather even into your Thursday morning. Now, Denver, all hazards of severe weather will be possible. We have torcons of 2 and a 3, so the tornado risk is fairly low, but it's not 0. So when there's a number, there's a risk. Notice the high plains east of Denver. That's going to be where your tornado chances are a little bit greater. What does a 3 really mean? Well, that means that severe thunderstorms are likely. Some of the severe storms could contain tornadoes, so a few tornadoes will be possible. Be prepared that you could get some warnings tomorrow when you have to go to your safe place. A watch is issued prior to that, and tornado watches could get issued tomorrow. That's when all the ingredients come together, when we need to be alert for any of those warnings that do happen. So Thursday could be also a busy day here, Chris. It's going to be a pretty unsettled week overall.
It is, and some of the same areas that are going to get it tomorrow could get it again Thursday, could getting it today, could get it again. I mean, this is kind of messy right in the middle here of the U.S. So let's go ahead right now and take a look at that threat and what we are expecting here. You can see this is now Thursday, so the day after tomorrow, and again, all the way up into the Dakotas, all the way down to Oklahoma, including Missouri and Iowa, of course, Nebraska and Kansas, right back in the middle of all of this. The upper level low is going to kind of dig down a little bit more, and as it does, kind of shift all the ingredients that are setting up to create severe weather tomorrow and then again on Thursday. Here's that area of low pressure. It's going to be strengthening. More of that moisture is coming up out ahead of it. That moisture coming into some warm air. The moisture and the warm air both making the air that once it starts to go up, once it gets lifted, to continue going. And so we have an unstable atmosphere, a lot of energy essentially for these storms to tap into, some strong damaging winds, some cold air coming up over that warm air. That cold air and the depth of that cold air can support some very large hail with some strong updrafts as well. Large hail a possibility here again on Thursday. You can see at some point in the green at some time there's going to be some storms which could linger again into Friday morning, which again, Jackie, could include some more flash flood. It really does have that kind of summertime pattern, you know, with the plains. And it really, this is also when they got a lot of their rain, too, for all the crops and everything. It comes in the form of thunderstorms quite often.
Hopefully they get planted before that rain comes in. There's a little key to that as well. So let's talk more about what we're bracing for, which could be flooding at times with more rain in the forecast. Places like Wichita Falls have already dealt with it in the last month. This was about 2 weeks ago, where storms brought more than half of the city's average annual rainfall for for the month of April. My goodness. So let's talk more about the flood threat and the rain that's going to be coming here into the southern plains. Some of us are in pretty good shape. This shows you what we've had over the last 7 days, and wherever you see the golds and the oranges, that's 3 to as much as 6+ inches of rainfall. So that's some pretty good stuff. But notice the lack of it into western Texas, as well as into the panhandles of Texas and Oklahoma, western Kansas. That's where we really need it. But the rain's still to come, where it's going to be heaviest through the end of the week into the weekend. Notice that that's going to be across parts of the hill country. If we get that 5 to 8 in short orders in heavy bursts that happens, that's going to be leading to the flooding. If we can stretch it out a little bit more, a little bit every day, that wouldn't hurt us so much. But unfortunately, it just never quite works out that way, does it? Our future radar showing you tonight that we'll see some of that swirling around that disturbance. So another round of heavy rain and downpours could be approaching the Houston area. I think that's going to be pretty likely, especially for the morning rush tomorrow.
After Advil.
Back to work.
What about your neck?
It's good to go.
Before Advil. Advil Dual Action fights pain 2 ways. Advil targets pain at the source. Acetaminophen blocks pain signals. Advil Dual Action.
Internet without malicious websites. Without malware-ridden files. Zen. Be more cyber zen. Get NordVPN.
Will you pause it real quick? Just sold the car to Carvana.
What?
All I had to do was answer a couple of questions and got a real offer in seconds. Then they just picked up the car and paid me right on the spot.
Sell your car at Carvana.com today.
Where do I even begin when it comes to my mom? I call her my angel on earth.
My grandmother took me in.
I'm a poster child for It Takes a Village.
My aunt has just always been there.
She is my real mom.
To all kinds of moms, happy Mother's Day.
What would the ideal weight loss program look like? No hunger, no cravings, no isolation, more energy, lasting results, and easy. Is that possible? It is with Golo. These people changed their lives with Golo without starvation dieting. Whether you have 100 pounds to lose or want to shed those final 20, try Golo for 60 days and never diet again.
Red Lobster's finer points of fun dining. How to endless shrimp. Step 1, greet your shrimp. Step 2, bid your shrimp farewell. Repeat. Ultimate Endless Shrimp is back. A cool 20 gets you shrimp aplenty. Welcome to fun dining.
Say goodbye to daily insulin injections with Omnipod 5, a tubeless system that automatically adjusts insulin to help protect against highs and lows. Try it today. Go to Omnipod.com for risk information and instructions for use. Consult your healthcare provider before starting on Omnipod.
This auto shop needs a small business loan fast to hire more help. So they're going to OnDeck, the online lender that makes it easy to choose your loan and, if approved, get funds as soon as the same day. Your loan is on deck.
Take a look at this heart. It's the one I'm gonna use to love.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Non-drowsy Claritin knocks out symptoms from over 200 allergens without knocking you out. Feel the clarity and make today the most wonderful time of the year. Live Claritin Clear.
Humans have evolved many skills. Fighting bugs isn't one of them. That's why STEM harnesses active ingredients found in plants that target nerves bugs have, but you and your family don't. STEM, rooted in nature, optimized by science.
Please pay attention to the forecast.
Watch America's first choice for weather, America's Morning Headquarters.
Every morning on the Weather Channel.
Take a pea-sized amount. That's it. I rub my fingertips together like this. Apply it like a lotion. Fingertips, pits, under boob, thigh folds, butt cracks, feet. About 98% of our customers use our cream deodorant on places other than pits. This water-based cream, I'm telling you, it rubs in like a lotion. It's invisible on the skin. It works like a dream. Why didn't someone think of this sooner?
What is ButcherBox? Officially, a high-quality, humanely raised meat and seafood delivery service. But it's way more than that.
It's the ease of always being prepared. It's the reassurance of eating and feeding the best, so you can savor the moments. It's not just meat. It's food that you can trust. Visit ButcherBox.com and get your special offer today.
We're bringing out all the big guns for this one.
It's Trucker Showdown Sundays on the Weather Channel.
Ready!
With back-to-back episodes of Highway Through Hell and Heavy Rescue.
This is what I live for. Something new, something crazy, really gets the adrenaline going.
All the truck stops, hops, and smashes you could ask for.
Everything's building up to a catastrophic event here.
I'm proud of the team effort. They just get her done.
Trucker Showdown Sundays, starting 8/7 Central, only on the Weather Channel.
This is Lake Scenic Woods. Look at that BMW, y'all. It's underwater. This is our driveway.
And most of the driveways there staying dry. A little bit of elevation here, giving us a sense of just how much a couple of feet make a difference between the car in the water and high and dry here. This firsthand look, woman's perspective here at a neighborhood, Scenic Woods, in the northeast part of the city, one of the harder hit areas. They got quite a bit of rain today. Flood threat, though, not over yet. It's not raining right now, nothing significant at the moment, but the next couple of days right here in Houston, live look, more rain is expected. Traffic, it's doing its Houston thing right now. Looks like the roads have dried up a bit for now, but that's just that for now, because this is what is expected again. We're just kind of into that time of year. We get into some of these patterns where you're tapping into that Gulf moisture, getting some strong storms. This is a virtual look here at Houston and what is expected. More storms on the way. Very heavy rain today, leading to some scenes like we were just looking at, with an inch to even an inch and a half or two, almost 3 inches of rainfall. But one of the key things here is all kind of in this area, right? So you have a lot of that water falling out of the sky over a big area, but it's all kind of connected, right? So you're getting a lot of water that's trying to drain out of some of the same areas, and it backs up in a hurry. Here's a look at where the threat continues, at least through tomorrow. Areas in green showing where that central storminess will bring at least the possibility for some flooding. Some of the bayous may flood, could see more flash flooding. Of course, that would likely come first, but the rain that we're going to get, that we could see, like what we're seeing right now in Lake Charles, a little bit of a spin on there, a little extra punch here of some of the rain. Get that, if that hangs out for a while, we could have similar situations to what we saw earlier today, again here in Houston. This is a look at the possibility for some of that flash flooding. This is through tomorrow morning, and this is through Thursday morning. Again, it's not just possible, but looking likely with a lot of the saturated ground, the water that has already come down. It's got that soupy feel, kind of a swampy vibe here across some of the vegetated areas, with a lot of water already in. More rain is on the way, and May and June certainly are some of the months when you can expect to see a lot of rain. I mean, heck, you can get a lot of rain anytime, any month of the year, but this certainly following suit, Jackie, with what you should expect.
Yeah, absolutely. And of
unfortunately. When it rains, it pours. In Houston, when it pours, seems to always flood, doesn't it? Take a look at what conditions were like in Houston earlier this year as strong storms dropped tons of rain on Houston. The rising water flooded several homes and businesses, and it left some drivers stranded. Many cars were totaled. Now, in May of 2021, it was a similar story. As we look at flooding along the White Oak Bayou, there you see another stalled car there, actually sweeping the car away. Of course, Houston saw devastating flooding in the aftermath of Hurricane Harvey. That's the one we'll all always remember. In August of 2017, as the storm moved inland, it slowed to a crawl, dumping days of rain on the area. It left more than a quarter of Harris County underwater. Of course, I remember Tropical Storm Allison as well. So what makes Houston such a prime target for flooding? As we take a closer look in the forecast for rainfall, likely to get widespread and additional 1 to 2 inches of rain. So think of that as kind of the baseline, because there will be locally heavier amounts, and some of those amounts could be as much as a half of a foot of additional rain. There's no way to really tell exactly who could get in on that. But why is Houston so vulnerable when it comes to flooding? There are a lot of different factors that go along with this. One of it, which is just the easy access to getting that moisture. You're right there next to Galveston Bay, right near the Gulf of Mexico. And so all you need is a southerly component to that wind, and moisture is pumping into your area. So we've got that going on today. Dew points in the 60s and 70s is pretty juicy. We consider low 60s to be humid on most accounts. So dew point, of course, a measure of the moisture into the atmosphere. Houston, a very populated town. We've got millions of people who live here. So the infrastructure and all the urbanization certainly limits anywhere for that water to get absorbed, right? There's not a lot of open ground there. It's concrete, it's pavement, it's buildings, and of course, it's a very flat area here as well. All of this rain then drains into the Buffalo Bayou, which ultimately drains down into Galveston Bay.
The all-new Chevy Colorado is made for more. Bring more. Do more. See more.
Got my baby sitting by me, shining like a diamond.
And be more.
Only silver linings in the clouds.
The all-new Chevy Colorado, made for more.
This is our premium platinum coverage map, and this is Consumer Cellular's map.
I don't see the difference, do you?
Well, that one's purple.
Get the exact same coverage as the nation's leading carriers, starting at $20. Consumer Cellular.
From the places that pull us to the passions that push us on the roads that unite us, Napa has America's largest network of hearts and care, here to keep you firing on all cylinders.
Itchy eye allergens? Pills and nasal sprays don't target the source of the itch. Extra strength Pataday works faster and outperforms Claritin and Flonase for eye allergy itch relief, even at 24 hours. Pataday, for relief beyond belief.
Hey, bud. Wow. What's all this?
Hawaii was too expensive, so I brought it here.
You know, with Priceline, you could actually take that trip for less than all this.
I made a horrible mistake.
Go to your happy price, Priceline.
Uh-huh. No, I can find someone. They love extra projects. We need promotional products.
I'm on it. Exclusive apparel, bags, high-tech items, and more. 4imprint takes the stress out of getting exactly what you need with the certainty that you'll get your promotional products on time and on budget. Make your go-to choice 4imprint.com.
You can come out now. I'm on it.
4imprint, for certain. There it is. That feeling you get when you can do more with less asthma. It starts with Dupixent. Dupixent is not for sudden breathing problems. It's an add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma and can help improve lung function for better breathing in as little as 2 weeks.
Dupixent helps prevent asthma attacks and can even reduce or eliminate oral steroids. Can you picture it? Dupixent can cause allergic reactions that can be severe. Get help right away if you have rash, chest pain, worsening shortness of breath, tingling, or numbness in your limbs. Tell your doctor about new or worsening joint aches and pain or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines, including steroids, without talking to your doctor. Who knows what you can do when you do more with less asthma? Ask your asthma specialist about Dupixent. Adulting made easy. That's totally Target.
King's Hawaiian sliders are ready.
Great. I invited a few more friends.
Hey, Pops, what's cooking?
And I am Linda.
My turn!
Who wants more sliders? Thanks, Mom.
Nothing brings the galaxy together like King's Hawaiian. See Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, only in theaters.
Welcome back to Storm Center. We're continuing to track some severe weather across parts of the state of Kansas. You're looking live from our storm tracker, Charles Peak, who's on the roads there right now in Stafford County, where we've had several severe thunderstorms roll through. They've been producing some very large hail, and we can see not a whole lot, quite honestly, right? We can see that the rain is coming down right now. We've got the dark clouds, but very difficult to pick out any structure. Want to bring in meteorologist Chris Warren. He is on the radar right now, and Chris was just looking at those cells in parts of Stafford County. Might even be a little broad rotation on some of these.
It's been showing that for a while, and we've been seeing, Charles, in this storm for a while as well, with some of the heavier rain and even some large hail possible still out of this storm here. This is one of many storms that have been firing up, and we've been showing you and analyzing it on the radar as well. We'll do that right now. This is the storm where Charles is. There's Charles Peak's location, and then there's also a big line of storms that has been continuing to progress across Kansas, now in earnest making its way into Missouri, and that's where the severe thunderstorm warnings are right now, taking it across eventually Interstate 49, some parts sooner than other parts. This is the visible satellite. You can see some of the ingredients here, that warm, moist air with the fair weather cumulus clouds showing the southerly movement of the air that's feeding these storms. Then feeding these storms with that air, that humid air, that warm and humid air going up. And then when the rain falls, some of that cold air comes back down, hits, and rushes out. So you go from winds cruising out of the south to cruising out of the north. What goes up comes back down. What goes to the north comes back down to the south, and it's noticeably cooler air as well. Severe thunderstorm warning in Bates, Henry, and Lynn counties. Again, now we are in Missouri, tracking some of these storms here in Missouri, where there does continue to be a severe thunderstorm watch in effect until 11 o'clock. The threat for some of the storms that we've been watching and tracking to be severe does go on for at least a few more hours. Also here in Virginia and North Carolina, there has been and remains the threat for some thunderstorms. One severe thunderstorm warning right now. See, it's once towards the end of this, but there comes another one as well. And these storms coming one right after another. So Greenville, you're about to get hit again. Here's the one. Now here comes the second one. Rocky Mount also getting a couple of hits here by storms. Greene and Pitt counties here in North Carolina. Also storms no longer severe in Alabama or in Georgia, but still some thunderstorms with, again, thunderstorms. So there's some lightning in some of these storms, which can always be dangerous. So it doesn't have to be a severe thunderstorm to have, Jackie, severe consequences. So because rain and lightning, it's not technically makes it a severe thunderstorm, but we know it can do a lot of bad things.
Yes, I hate driving in the rain. When thunder roars, go indoors, right? I know it's feeling like summer in a lot of these areas. So we're tracking severe storms over parts of the central U.S. as well over the next 24 to 48 hours. We're going to get some gusty winds like you see in that video there in Goodland, Kansas. And we've got the threat for some large hail, perhaps tornadoes like you see there in Denver just last month. Denver's actually had a couple of those landspout tornadoes as of late, and you'll be in the risk zone as we head into tomorrow. In the meantime, tonight, we're still tracking this complex of severe thunderstorms that's now moving its way into Missouri. The latest model run showing that that's going to likely hold together still and will likely produce some very heavy rain, perhaps some damaging winds. Gradually overnight tonight into early tomorrow morning, that starts to fizzle out. But here's another complex of thunderstorms that we see that's going to be rolling through much of Nebraska, bringing heavy downpours and perhaps some damaging winds. Now, tomorrow afternoon and into the evening hours, things will likely fire up along that cold front here into the high plains. So eastern parts of Wyoming, eastern parts of Colorado. This is where we're expecting the severe storms to fire up. Few individual supercells will be possible, but we may get those complexes or clustering of thunderstorms, especially with time. So we've got our big upper level system that's going to be swinging across the southwest. That's where the cool air is. But the upper level winds, really part of the key part of this story, is that jet max begins to round through and works its way into the Rockies and then into the high plains.
Secret works. Oh, yes. Oh, will you pause it real quick? Just sold the car to Carvana. Okay, hit play, please.
What? When did you do that?
I just did it the other day. All I had to do was enter the VIN or license plate, answer a couple of questions, and got a real offer in seconds. Then they just picked up the car and paid me right on the spot.
I can finally quit my job and become an actor. No, you're right.
Sell your car at Carvana.com today.
Boar's Head has harnessed the power of fire to unlock an intense new flavor. An expertly charred, flame-grilled masterpiece to take your senses to new heights. Because when Boar's Head lights a fire, we ignite an experience worth savoring. New Boar's Head Firesmith Flame-Grilled Chicken Breast. Flavor forged in flame. Available only at the deli and only from Boar's Head. Compromise elsewhere.
Meet the future. A chef, a designer, and an engineer. All learning to save and spend their money with Chase. The chef's cooking up first with her new debit card.
Hungry?
Uh-huh. The designer's eyeing sequins, no, plaid. While mom is eyeing his spending. Nice. And the engineer? She's taking control with her own account for college. 3 futures, all with Chase. Freedom for kids, control for parents. One bank for both. Chase, make more of what's yours.
What are you?
Oh, those are our new hardwood floors from LL Flooring.
Oh, these must have cost a fortune.
Nope, it was actually less than we expected.
They have old floors at home. Oh. Steve, you gotta get down here.
And bring the chips.
It's time to love your floors. Lumber Liquidators is now LL Flooring. Our experts make it simple to find the right floor at the best price, guaranteed. LL Flooring.
It's hard to put it into words. When I tried, life felt absurd. You left the roots of my soul. I tell myself not to lose control. I'll take it slow, but it's hard to do when you're lying like me on a line like you. You got the hands that I wanna hold. You like the room to the house of my soul.
3, 2, 1. Oh, we love it. Hey guys, Jefferson White here. I am so excited to show you this incredible Ozark property that my friends at One Country are giving away. One very, very lucky winner is going to get over 60 acres that includes this beautiful cabin and over half a mile of White River frontage. You can enter to win right now at onecountry.com.
USAA? Yeah. They have awesome rates on coverage for our car, home, and stuff.
She has a lot of stuff.
Dad.
A lot of cool stuff, honey. But USAA also has banking, credit cards, and loans. Plus advice and other perks.
Only for emergencies. Thanks, Mom.
And it's all in one spot. So we know she's all set because we've got USAA.
USAA, more than you might think, for the military community and their families.
Well, right now, continuing to track the storm tracker here. Watching Charles Peak's feed here. Looks like he has continued to drive out of the worst part of the storm here in Stafford County, Kansas, associated with the storm. We've been tracking now for at least a couple of hours, and we've definitely been tracking, I should say, for a couple of hours, but it's been going longer than that, and this is one of many storms that are ongoing across many states right now. Along with meteorologist Jackie Jarris and meteorologist Chris Warren, and these are the storms. This is the storm where Charles has been and remains. And this is a big line of storms that has been going on for hours, going through a big portion of Kansas. Severe thunderstorm warnings now moving into Missouri. The west side of Missouri and the south central part of Missouri does remain under a severe thunderstorm watch. Conditions favorable for the development of some severe weather. Similar story right here. Severe thunderstorm watch for North Carolina, and now a new severe thunderstorm warning. So there are 2 severe thunderstorm warnings right now. And as we look at these 2, you can see right here and right here.
It's been a tough year and a half for several Kentucky communities rebuilding after natural disasters. You're looking at this video showing a bird's eye view of hard-hit Mayfield after a tornado struck the town in December of 2021. It was part of a powerful storm system that spun up a few long-track tornadoes, including an EF4 that struck right here. As you can see, the damage was extensive, leaving this area devastated. As of May 1st, help is here to assist people in communities like Mayfield get back on their feet. Federal funding of $123 million is now being released to provide housing for storm victims who are still displaced. So joining us to talk about this aid and how it will be used is Mayfield Mayor Cathy Onan. Mayor, thanks so much for being with us today on Storm Center. It's been a while now, more than 80 lives lost in Kentucky that day, hundreds of homes that have been destroyed. What's it like in Mayfield now after that devastating tornado?
We are moving forward with, we have been so blessed by nonprofits who have been here since day one, it seems. And now so many of them, local and national, have been rebuilding homes already for us. And we know that with this announcement of this $123 million, the application process opened as of May 1st. We knew about this appropriation last year, but I know that Senator McConnell pushed that through to help his home state. And we are so thankful now with the governor's announcement just recently of a May 1st application date.
How huge is this for your community, and how will it help the residents?
It is huge. We have been the beneficiary of a lot of huge gifts and help since that December tornado that took so much from the people of our community. You know, with an exception of the lives we lost here, the 24 lives we lost, which of course can never be replaced, we know that everything else, as painful it is, though, with time can be replaced. And that's exactly what this large amount, this appropriation will mean for us, just even more rebuilding.
So where are people now? Where are they living? Have they moved? Are they living in trailers? Is there housing for them?
Some of them are still living in state furnished RVs. Some of them are living with their family members. Like I said, we have the nonprofits, and I can't begin to name them because there are so many of them here, and I would regret to leave one of them out. But I think that we have within our community, I feel comfortable in saying probably 50 homes that have already been presented to new owners at this time, and then to replace the homes that the previous owners lost. So they are scattered. I'm happy to say, though, that this year we judged things by our school enrollment, and in this past year, when school started last fall, our high school, Mayfield High School enrollment was up, and in the kindergarten, they had to add an extra teacher. That says a lot for our community, that that we didn't lose anybody yet, and we've gained more people. And that is a thrilling sentence for me to be able to say.
That is great news. What about businesses? What about that candle factory?
You know, the candle factory has relocated out to our industrial park, and so they are still here. Their previous location is still vacant, but the jobs, most of the jobs that were there had moved out to the industrial park of our community.
We only have about 30 seconds left. What's the big lesson you've learned here?
The big what I want to hear?
Did you learn a lesson? What's the big takeaway, or what would you do differently?
I don't know if what I would do differently, and not so much of a lesson, but as I say all the time, I'm so proud of everything, how our community has reacted, and our people are still, even 15 months in, are the most resilient people I have ever known. And I'm so very proud of the people of Mayfield, Kentucky.
Well, we are excited for you and happy about your recovery and about this funding that's going to help so many more people. That's Mayfield, Kentucky Mayor Cathy Onan. Thank you for taking the time and being with us today here on Storm Center.
Hey, so what if we have questions about our policy?
And what if it's late at night?
And what if someone still calls us mom for everything?
At State Farm, we're there for your what ifs. Hey, Mom.
Who?
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or click to get a quote today.
Humans have evolved many skills. Fighting bugs isn't one of them. That's why STEM harnesses active ingredients found in plants that target nerves bugs have, but you and your family don't. STEM, rooted in nature, optimized by science.
Yo.
This or that, this or that, this or that, this or that. You can do this when you Angie that. You can do this when you Angie that. You can do this when you Angie that. You can do this because Angie's where it's at.
Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Get started today at Angie.com.
Angie that.
Choosing a treatment for your chronic migraine, 15 or more headache days a month, each lasting 4 hours or more, can be overwhelming. So ask your doctor about Botox. Botox prevents headaches in adults with chronic migraine before they even start. It's the #1 prescribed branded chronic migraine treatment. So far, more than 5 million Botox treatments have been given to over 850,000 chronic migraine patients.
Effects of Botox may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away, as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness can be signs of a life-threatening condition. Side effects may include allergic reactions, neck and injection site pain, fatigue, and headache. Don't receive Botox if there's a skin infection. Tell your doctor your medical history, muscle or nerve conditions and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects.
In a survey, 92% of current users said they wish they talked to their doctor and started Botox sooner. So ask your doctor if Botox is right for you. Learn how AbbVie could help you save on Botox.
No matter what type of severe asthma you have, Tespire can help you have fewer asthma attacks and breathe better. Tespire is an add-on treatment for people 12 and over. It is not a rescue medication. Don't take Tespire if you're allergic to it. Allergic reactions may occur and can be serious. Rash or eye allergy can happen. Don't stop your asthma treatments unless your doctor tells you to. Tell your doctor if you have a parasitic infection or your asthma worsens. Sore throat, joint, and back pain may occur. Avoid live vaccines. No matter who you are, ask your asthma specialist about Tespire today.
This is a paid advertisement for legal services from Action Matters. Attention! This message is for civilian or military firefighters that were exposed to aqueous film-forming foam, or more commonly called firefighting foam. Studies have shown that the chemicals used to make firefighting foam are highly toxic and have been associated with several types of cancer. If you or a loved one was exposed to firefighting foam and were diagnosed with any of the following types of cancer: kidney cancer, pancreatic cancer, testicular cancer, prostate cancer, bladder cancer, thyroid cancer, liver cancer, thyroid disease, ulcerative colitis, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Firefighting foam is used to suppress fire rapidly, but contains the toxic chemical PFAS that's been linked to several types of cancer. If you or a loved one was exposed to firefighting foam and were later diagnosed with any of the following types of cancer, you may be entitled to financial compensation. The call and the consultation are free. Don't wait. Time is limited to file a claim.
Call 800-449-8560 now or visit firefoamcase.com.
There's a cocktail of excitement and terror.
every time we go out, there is something new that is discovered.
Absolutely blown away by the natural beauty.
Welcome back to Storm Center. We are counting you down to the 2023 Atlantic hurricane season. And as of right now, we are 23 days away. Of course, it officially starts on June 1, but sometimes we'll get a storm here and there that develop outside of the season. And especially when we're looking at the heavy tropical-like downpours that we've been getting across the Gulf Coast states, it gets your attention, doesn't it? No development is expected, though, in the next 5 days. That's the good news for now. But when we do look back at history, here's a look at the named storms between 2015 and 2021. And we had seven consecutive seasons with a named storm outside of the season, technically. A lot of them happened in late May, so something that's really important to continue to monitor. We'll keep you updated on that. In the meantime, we want to take a look at tomorrow's trouble spots tonight. Chris?
Yeah, and as you can imagine, as we've been talking about throughout this evening, and we'll be talking about again tomorrow, the severe weather threat is going to pose a lot of problems, a lot of trouble spots for tomorrow. And whether or not the storms end up getting to severe criteria, whether it's the large damaging hail, the damaging winds, or tornadoes, these storms are going to have some very heavy rain, frequent lightning, always dangerous. Severe ingredients tomorrow coming together, upper level jets coming over. It's coming over some of the areas where at the surface there are plenty of ingredients as well for severe weather. Plenty of humidity, a lot of moisture in the air. There's the warmth, the daytime heating with temperatures getting into the 80s, a lot of instability, especially the fact there's cold air up above, which helps further that instability and makes that air that's going to rise just really keep going, can be explosive as well. That cold air also creates an environment conducive for large hail, and also with the spinning of the storms because of the wind shear, the winds at different speeds, at different angles, or in different directions, also different levels of the atmosphere. Tornadoes also a possibility. 2 and a 3 on the Torcon. A 3 tells us really quickly that severe thunderstorms are likely. We're expecting severe thunderstorms. These storms are going to be rotating. Few tornadoes may come out of those rotating thunderstorms, and there could also be some watches. So when there's a watch, that just means the Storm Prediction Center is seeing enough to think that the conditions are favorable for that. But again, certainly a possibility with or without a watch. But again, a watch is something that we'll keep an eye on for you. Here's tomorrow evening: Nebraska, Kansas, Wyoming, Colorado. Now overnight into Thursday morning, and again, Kansas, Nebraska, Wyoming, and Colorado still in some of the heavier showers, but also into Minnesota, the Dakotas, and in between some of these areas, it's the future radar, Jackie. You're still going to have some daytime storms. That just kind of gives you a flavor of what may happen on a smaller scale.
So our weather pattern keeping us active over the next couple of days. But what happens after that? That's the big question. And we see another shakeup in our weather pattern as we head into next week. So right now we're dealing with a classic trough in the west, ridge here into the east. That's a pattern that's favorable for severe weather to develop. Of course, when I talk about the pattern, I'm talking about the jet stream, that fast ribbon of air that moves like a river in the upper levels of the atmosphere, and our storms track within the jet stream. So when you see the big bump like this, usually we have high pressure and hot conditions underneath it. You see the big dip or the trough, that means cooler than average temperatures and rising motion into the atmosphere. Look what happens by the end of the weekend. We're almost all under the influence of a ridge. It retrogrades and kind of builds back across the west, which means we're going to have a huge warm up, okay? Heat wave, I would even say, for the Pacific Northwest into other parts of the west down into California. Temperatures 15 to 25 degrees above average. Where we get the dip then, that begins to move eastward and we'll have cooler than average temperatures. So storms go up and over the Pacific Northwest and then we'll ride down into parts of the Great Lakes. In addition to that, we're going to have that moisture trapped near the surface, near the Gulf Coast states, and things could stay pretty active and pretty wet there as well. So this is your temperature outlook for the 15th through the 19th. Very likely above average in the Pacific Northwest, more likely below average here across the nation's midsection. Oftentimes when we see the below average, that coincides, Chris, with the above average precipitation, as clouds can often keep that temperature down quite a bit. So things get interesting again, a little bit back and forth.
They sure do. We watch weather across the globe here on Storm Center. Tonight we're going just north of the U.S. border. Wildfire in Alberta, Canada, near Fox Creek. One of nearly 90 fires burning across the province, which is under a state of emergency. Already more than 30,000 people have been evacuated, and we can see some of the smoke as far south here as parts of the Northeast.
Hi.
Hello there.
Would you like some lemonade? $5, please.
Had enough inflation? Undo inflation with Dish. Get the same TV bill every month for 3 years.
Supply chain issues.
The 3-year TV price guarantee, only from Dish.
Could we have been somebody else if we'd taken a right turn instead of a left? Or if we'd taken the place with the hot tub? Or the one uptown? We went downtown. Could we be fabulous or fantabulous? Apartments.com, the place to find a place.